What up, guys? What up? Happy Monday, guys. Hope you guys are having a great day. Let's go live on we're talking today's NFL plus MLB. Babe,
¿Qué?
I'm live.
Ajá. Aló.
Yo, she's so funny. We're live on TikTok, live on YouTube, live on Twitter. Just need to go live on YouTube mobile, and let's get cracking, man. What up, guys? What up, man? Happy Monday. Let's cook it up. Let's talk NFL. We're talking NFL, MLB today. Let's get it. Today is Monday. What up, guys? What up, man? Happy Monday. What are you guys getting into, man? What do y'all got locked in already? You guys got Monday Night Football locked in? MLB, which way we going? Which way we starting? I always let you guys dictate which way, if you guys want to start with MLB or NFL first. Let's give it another minute for everybody to show up, and then we'll get cracking. In fact, let me send out the Discord notification real quick. Monday Night Football. It's a Super Bowl today. This is a Super Bowl. This is a crazy good matchup. Let's go, man. Let me see what you guys are saying so far, man. Nothing on TikTok, YouTube. All right, drop whatever games you guys want to discuss first, and we'll start there. So now live, join us on YouTube and TikTok. 7-0 clean sweep. Oof, yesterday was great. 7-0. 7-0 clean sweep for the Discord yesterday. And we're 9-0 on week 3. So we're trying to go for 10-0 today. It would be sweet. Shoot, I might go 11-0, honestly. I'm not just going to sell myself short and just go one play. 7-0 clean sweep yesterday. Let's get it, man. You guys want to talk NFL first or MLB? Drop whatever games y'all want to discuss, and we'll talk about it. Another 30 seconds, guys. We're about to get started. Join us on YouTube and TikTok. All right, there we go. What up, 0-0? My man wants to talk about the Ravens straight up to win. Jacob he's got Gibbs to get his receptions today. Okay, we can talk about it. Ravens line's over. Jags are outright Sunday. What do you mean outright Sunday? They won yesterday. They were a 1.5 point favorite yesterday. We were on them. We were on the Jaguars today. My man Zeros wants to talk about Ravens. That's the obviously the game of the night tonight. It's a good one too, man. There's only 3 games on MLB, and that's perfect. That's perfect. We don't need MLB when we have this Monday night game tonight. Detroit Lions versus the Baltimore Ravens. Let's talk about what side do we like here. All right, we're talking about Detroit versus Baltimore. Again, guys, still a few hours to go till kickoff. I usually, I have to. This is just a lean at this point. So let's talk about which way we're leaning here. Give me a moment. Let me turn that off real quick. Okay. Make sure we're still live. Yeah. Okay. We're live on YouTube. All right. Cool. Detroit versus Baltimore. So this line opened up -5.5. Okay. And I remember when this line opened up, when this 5.5 opened up, I looked at it. I was like, that's weird. That's a weird line to begin with. But maybe I'm just getting used to it a little bit. I would think people would be flooding in on Detroit, but they're not. 61% of the public is actually on Baltimore, okay? And this is why, I unless I have something I love, unless I see something I love, I'm not gonna lock in a play early because I like to see this public perception that we get throughout the day, right? The public is all over Baltimore right now. Okay, they're all talking about Lamar Jackson. His record in primetime is outstanding. His record in primetime at home is 10-1. He is 10-1 straight up on primetime. Him and head coach Harbaugh are 10-2 against the number in primetime. Him against NFC opponents, he is 24-2 straight up against NFC opponents. And everything is just all Lamar Jackson, right? If you look at the recent games, right? We're talking about the first two games. We're talking about Baltimore versus Bills, right? Baltimore had that game in hand, and then they choked it away. But then you have the next game, okay? And that score against Cleveland last week looks really inflated. But Baltimore scored late a couple times there to get the cover and to win as big as they did. Baltimore really didn't control that game, really didn't put it away until much later. What I don't love for Detroit is that they ran up the scoreboard last week against the Bears. They definitely ran up the scoreboard. They had that game controlled. They had that game under control. There wasn't an issue against the Bears. Whereas, like I said, Baltimore, the perception is that Baltimore shut down Cleveland. No, if anything, Cleveland shut down their run game, right? How many of you guys were sick with Derrick Henry not getting yards, not scoring a touchdown, right? That was unheard of. But it was actually Cleveland's defense that shut down Detroit completely, shut down Baltimore, at least on the ground, okay? And Detroit is coming into this one with a good running game. So far, so good in terms of the running game. So they have what it takes to shut down the run. They do have some injuries in the secondary. They got a safety and a cornerback that I'm looking out on. I'm keeping an eye on here. But I would expect Detroit to hold down this Baltimore run game at least a bit, contain it at least a little bit here. And again, guys, maybe at the beginning of the week when this thing opened up 5.5, I saw this thing and I was like, that's way too many points, right? So the contrarian me wants to say, oh, everybody's going to be on Detroit, everybody's going to be taking the points. But no, everybody's on Baltimore. I gotta be leaning the other way, man. I'm leaning the other way. I'm thinking Detroit is the right side here with this is too many points. This is too many points to take between two high caliber, playoff type, Super Bowl caliber opponents here. I'm leaning Detroit with the points here, man. What do you guys think about that? Let me put up a poll. Damn, I should have done it beforehand. But give me blue for the Lions, red for the Ravens. What side are you on today? Regardless of what I just said, what side are you on? Blue for the Lions, red for the Ravens. Go ahead. Everybody's on the Ravens. Everybody's on the... Not one person on the Lions. What's there not to like about Lions? And I'll tell you what it is. It is first impressions. First impressions stick. Okay? First impressions really stick around way more than they should. Okay? And the last time everybody really saw the Lions was in week 1, game of the week against the Packers. And they looked horrible. But if you really look at that, that was their first game without their offensive coordinator, right? It's going to take a little bit of time to gel. It's going to take a little bit of time to figure some things out. And if you look at the second half of that game, in the second half of the game, Detroit actually put some pressure on Green Bay, and Jordan Love wasn't having a field day. Green Bay had got their scores in the first half, right? But in the second half, they really struggled. And since that halftime, the halftime of week 1, and obviously through Chicago, look at Chicago yesterday. Of course, they beat up on the Cowboys, but Chicago might not be that bad either. I don't know. Ever since that halftime, I'm just getting the feeling here that Detroit's probably getting overlooked based on how bad they looked in that first half. Let's see what you guys are saying. My man's saying facts. Let's go, man. Hit the follow button, guys. If it's your first time here, hit the follow button. Again, guys, I do this for a living, man. I analyze this stuff. It's no fun sitting in the lab just by myself and just, I like to think out loud and get information from you guys as well. And it works out, man. It works out. Yesterday was a clean 7-0 sweep for us. 7-0 on yesterday's NFL Sunday. Loved every minute of it. We are 9-0 on week 3. We're trying to go 10-0 today, guys. We had 2 plays on Thursday. Both of those hit. We had 7 plays yesterday. All 7 hit. So we're going for 10-0 today, guys. If you guys want to join the squad, link is in bio. Jacob, sorry about that, brother. Let's talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. You're trying to think Jahmyr Gibbs to get receptions today. Let's see here. With Jahmyr Gibbs to get some receptions here from Jared Goff. Okay. As you guys know, I'm not a huge fantasy guy. But if I'm playing this out right, yes, I'm thinking Detroit, Jared Goff, right? They come out here, Dan Campbell, they come out here with the game plan to get the ball out of Jared Goff's hands quickly, right? And who are you looking for? You're looking for, I think, Laporta, and I think you're looking for the running back out of the backfield, right? I think that makes sense here. I think that's the game plan, right? Jahmyr Gibbs being more of the receiving back. I think that's the game plan. I think that works, brother. Atlanta Panther. Okay, you're talking MLB. We could talk MLB, brother. Let's just finish up with NFL, and then we could go over to MLB, man. Give me the pick on the Lions. Give me to pick the Lions in the Baltimore game. Hey, brother, my shop, I think you're the only one, brother. Literally, it was, 11-1 just now? Even though I just gave you my take on Detroit. And again, guys, it's just my lean at this point. My official play doesn't go out till later. My man Mad Dog says Ravens will dominate tonight. Based on what, brother? Based on what? They didn't dominate Cleveland, even though that score looks like they did. They really did not put Cleveland away. And yes, they hung in there. They had a strong lead against Buffalo, but couldn't close it out. Okay. And when we're looking at specifically, looking at this matchup, the way it's looking right now, Detroit looks like they have a strong running game, right, against a Chicago team that does want to run the ball, wants to establish the run, okay? And then Detroit in week 1 with Green Bay, right? Green Bay also wants to run the ball. Jordan Love, not so much of a run and shoot kind of quarterback, right? Now Baltimore's definitely on a different level than those, and Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry, isn't that the historic guy? Derrick Henry, definitely in a bad mood after getting shut out the way they did last week. Guys, they got contained they got shut down last week. Okay, I believe the total yards was like 47 or 48 total yards on the ground for Baltimore. That is unheard of. 2.7 yards per carry. Okay, so they couldn't run the ball one bit. And then to make matters worse on the other side, Detroit, they can run the ball. Okay, they can run the ball. And then Baltimore's defense. This is not being talked about enough. The defensive end or defensive tackle, one of the run stuffing guys for Baltimore, Matabiku, or how do you say his name? He's out of the lineup tonight. Okay, so you're not going to see one of Baltimore's top run stuffers, right? So that'll open up lanes a little bit there for running backs like Jahmyr Gibbs to get his carries and Detroit to have some success at establishing the run. No caller ID says defense is shady for me. I get it, brother. But also when the total is set at 53.5, I think the line makers are telling us that we're not expecting too many stops in these games. We're talking about 7-8 touchdowns. So my man Patoob says I need Henry to get 21 yards. 21 yards or probably carries. Lamar to have 55 and a half rushing yards. I like that. I like Lamar to be scrambling around today. In prime time, these quarterbacks, you see them scramble a lot more. You see them, and I know he didn't hit that yardage. I know the first 2 games were really low yardage for him when he's usually doing a little bit more. For him to get a touchdown and a half, passing touchdowns, I don't know. I know. I know Zay Flowers had a field day, right? He had a hat trick a week ago. I got to look at the Detroit those injuries. I got to look at those injuries on the in the secondary. I got to make sure the safety and the cornerback are playing. If they're out, then yes, I would agree with that. I think they're good. Lions have 2 good running backs, 3 quality wide receivers. Lions have so many options. Yeah, absolutely. They got a tight end too. You didn't mention Laporta is great. And yeah, bro, they got Jameson Williams. They got Amos St. Brown, of course. Do you think Williams on the Lions will go over reception yards? Jameson Williams. Like you said, I'm not too much of a fantasy guy, brother. I don't really know too much about Williams, so I don't want to lead you in the wrong direction. Can we talk about soccer? I wish I could help you with soccer, brother, but I don't have anything for soccer. Lou says, "What do you got?" I just made the case for Detroit, and that's kind of the way I'm feeling right now. Just kind of based off the narrative that's going into this one, the storylines of Lamar Jackson being so good on primetime. I'm feeling the Lions right now, man. Let me catch up on all the comments, man. Would you start D-Hop or Andrews? D-Hop is not doing too much in that offense, man. I'd probably go Andrews. Does the game go over 46 points? So you got like an alternate number there. Let's talk about the total real quick. Let me get an updated, let's see where the market's at on this one. Guys, it would be crazy to see this thing be a low-scoring game. But sometimes when it's so obvious, it just goes opposite, right? This line is inflated. This line has been inflated. I just posted a video, guys. Don't fall for the overreactions, okay? This total opened up 50.5. It's up to 53.5. It's moved 3 whole points, right? Through key numbers like 49, 51 is important, 52. And it's moved through these keys numbers by a whole 3 points, okay? Yesterday, the one game I passed on Sunday Night Football yesterday, and one of the reasons, honestly, I was just a few minutes after somebody asked me my lean. I gave them my lean in the Discord, and I leaned over. But the more I looked at it, I was like, yeah, no, that thing was inflated yesterday too. That thing had moved up, from 42 to 45. Why do I mention that? It's because just like that, you have an inflated number here from 50.5 all the way to 53.5. Now, does that mean I'm gonna go take the under? No, absolutely it doesn't, right? Because these are over teams. Baltimore was crazy over last year, 13-5 to the over, right? I'm not gonna get in front of these offenses, right? Both these guys are ranked numbers 1 and 2. By the way, Jared Goff is not having a bad start to his season so far. He's ranked number 2. Baltimore is ranked. Lamar Jackson is ranked number 1 in passer rating. Okay, so this is 1 versus 2 here. Am I going to go and get in front of these offenses? No, but just don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the over looks so obvious that it ends up going under, man. It's kind of how this stuff works. My man Mad Dog says first half and game over. Lots of passing in this game. Well, one thing I would say, right? You would think there's a lot of passing in this game, but with Baltimore, they're a run first team, right? They want to establish the run, and then they pass second. Okay, Baltimore so far to start the season, they are 7th in run frequency, and when I'm looking for an under, honestly, that is one of the key metrics I'm looking at, right? How often are you running the ball, keeping the clock running, right? Because you pass the ball, if you're incomplete, of course the clock stops. No. So Detroit is number 16 in this category. Baltimore is number 7 so far. So top 10, and that's their MO, running the clock. Okay. Here's another one. Seconds per play. Okay. Seconds per play. So this dictates the pace of the game, right? How many seconds are in between plays? Detroit and Baltimore are actually running 2 of the slowest pace. Okay. They're both in the bottom 6. It looks like here. Detroit is ranked 30th. Baltimore is ranked 26th. So both in the bottom 6 of the league, bottom 5 of the league here. So would it be crazy for this thing to end up going under? I wouldn't be surprised. Lots of injuries in the line secondary. Absolutely, you got to keep in mind of that for sure. Those are questionable tags though. They have been practicing. I expect those guys to be playing. Guys, hit the follow button if it's your first time here. Do not miss out on these streams. We had a great day in the Discord yesterday, man. 7-0. 7-0 on yesterday's college football, NFL, excuse me. College football was great too. 4-1 on college football. It's been great, man. I've been telling you guys, we're gonna flip the switch, and that's exactly what we did. We're going for 10-0 tonight. 10-0 on tonight's NFL on week 3. We're trying to put the closing touches here on NFL week 3. Trying to go 10-0, man. Let's get it. Let me catch up on the rest of the comments here. If you guys are ready for MLB, we could talk MLB too. Just let me know in the chat. Ravens would dominate tonight. Yeah, we talked about statement game for Ravens at home on national TV. The more I'm hearing statement games and how important it is and how big the stage is. Yeah, Lamar Jackson is great on prime time, right? But there's another kind of prime time game that he's not great in, and it's playoff games, right? So if the bigger this stage gets, and Detroit versus Baltimore is huge. This is a huge game here. It's possible, Super Bowl preview here. You got Lamar Jackson in the regular season, great guy, but in the playoffs, we all know what the take is on him. D-Hop to get 25 receiving yards. I'm okay with that. But he just doesn't get a whole lot of targets. He's just kind of going to be like he's got to just get his quick dose and in and out here. My man Jacob says Henry to get his anytime touchdown. I would expect him to get in the end zone today. I think it was such a always kind of try to go off of who try to go off of who did not have a great day last week, and then try to take the opposite of that. So I would expect Derrick Henry to get in the end zone. Let's get it. All right, guys. I think I'm all caught up with the chat. Thanks for being patient with me, man. I'm over here trying my best here. Gibbs to get an anytime touchdown. I do like Gibbs as well. I would expect touchdowns here. Just don't be surprised if it just ends up missing the total, because 53 is a high total, guys. I don't play a whole lot of totals. I was on the Miami versus Buffalo total, and that thing barely went over, right? Even though it felt like it was a pretty open game, like there was plenty of scoring, it's hard. Once you're north of 50, right, you almost need every drive. You need a lot of drives to be perfect. And they're not always going to be that way. Detroit, no, neither of these teams, guys, are top 10 in punts this year. So they are stalling out. They have gone 3 and out. Their drives have stalled out a little bit. Detroit is ranked 22nd, so number 8 in terms of punt. Of course, a lot of that's going to be in week 1. And then Baltimore number 11 as well in that category. My man said he did a teaser. I'm taking Ravens minus 2.5 and the under 55.5. I like that. I think that makes sense. Okay. And I'm not saying Ravens can't come out here and win. They can still win this game. But we're talking about that 4.5 spread, right? This thing was 5.5 to open up. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Guys, hit the follow button if it's your first time here. Hit the follow button. If you guys want to join the Discord, link is in bio. Link is in bio if you guys want to join up. I'm giving you one of my top plays for free. One of my top plays will be for free. I say that because there is one important game on today. We got some MLB possibly. But yes, I'm going to give you one of my most confident plays, one of my top plays for free in the Discord. Link is in bio. So join up and get my free plays if you want for a bit, and then subscribe. Get a pass, get a weekly pass or get a monthly pass. I promised the guys, I was like, yo, these next 5 days, starting on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. These are 5 days of football. I am locked in. I'm focused. Ever since then, I've hit 17 out of my last 18. 17 out of my last 18. 4-1 on college football Saturday. 7-0 yesterday. So yeah, if you guys want to join up, link in bio. Yo, bro, who you got winning each MLB game? I got you, brother. I'll give you my take on that. Let me make sure everybody's good with NFL. Okay, yep. I'm seeing a lot of baseball coming in now. Lou says over 1.5 field goals made in the game. Is that for both teams? I don't know how you're getting that. It's you usually have to get like 1.5 per kicker. Sometimes 2.5. Do I like the kickers in this game? In general, I would expect some drives to stall out. I would expect the total not to reach 53.5. And for that to happen, I'm going to need some of those drives that would be touchdowns. I'm going to need some of them to be field goals. So if you're on field goals, I'm with you. Dimitri says, I will be at the game. Hey, brother. Enjoy the game, man. Enjoy the game. I'm not too far away. I'm in D.C. I'm in the DMV. Baltimore, not part of the DMV. Just so there's no confusion. Zay Flowers, anytime touchdown. Isn't, so remind me, guys, who is us? I'm thinking Zay Flowers or Amon St. Brown. One of them just went for a hat trick last week. I believe that was Amon St. Brown. So I would not be looking for a player like that. Yeah, Amon St. Brown just went for a hat trick last week. He got himself 3 touchdowns, got in the end zone 3 times against the Chicago Bears. Zay Flowers on the other side. Oh, he did pop off as well. He popped off for yardage, right? Popped off for 140, 150 yards. I'm not in love with that, guys. Not just to be contrarian, but it's really because when a player pops off like that, it becomes what they game plan around, right? That is what the defensive coordinator and the entire defense game plan against. Just take out that weapon. Take especially somebody that just scored 3 touchdowns, or in this case, Zay Flowers just popped off in his last game as well. I'm not in love with going off of what we just saw. No, it was against the Bills he popped off. Excuse me, 143. But he did have 75 yards a week ago here. Again, guys, sorry, I'm not a huge prop guy. Honestly, I've had a lot of success with NFL, and a lot of times you gotta kind of ignore the name on the jersey, to be honest. But it was 2 weeks ago against the Bills that he popped off 143 yards and a touchdown. Look at him come back down to earth the very next game. 75 yards. It's still a good game, but no touchdowns. Didn't see the end zone. For him to get in the end zone today would make more sense. I like Zay Flowers more than Amon St. Brown. DeAndre Hopkins, we talked about him. He's just risky. Because he's only seeing like 2 targets, right? After Zay Flowers, there's really nobody there. Shavan, I got you, brother. We're about to switch to MLB. Just making sure you guys are all good with NFL. Guys, hit the follow button if it's your first time here. Do not miss out on these streams. We're cooking here, man. Every single day we cooking. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is just a little bit of a wild card, man. After Zay Flowers in that offense, everybody is kind of just, you have no idea who you're going to get. Dimitri says Ravens will demolish. Bro, the more confident, the more you guys are loving Ravens, the more I'm like, yo, maybe that 5.5. Maybe it's just me. I'm just so used to looking at these numbers, and I'm like, yeah, that number's off. That number's off. I said the same thing yesterday when it came to Carolina versus Atlanta. Atlanta was 6 points on the road, favored by 6 points on the road. Why? That thing opened up 3.5. It had no business going up to 6 at one point in the week. It closed at 4.5. Atlanta's not built. To cover numbers, right? And the way they just shined on Sunday Night Football the week before against the Vikings, everybody saw it. Everybody thought Atlanta's defense was key. Yo, shout out my man Lala in the Discord. He's a Falcons fan. I still haven't seen him since 12:59 Eastern time yesterday. I was like, bro, it's Panthers. You know your team is not built to go out here and cover this big number against a division game. Anyways, the point of that is that number was inflated, and I think this one is inflated as well here, man. And honestly, my initial thought is, well, everybody's going to be on Detroit. But no, people are on Baltimore, and like I said, the more the more people are excited about Baltimore, the more I feel like, okay, maybe Detroit is a side. My man Tariq says, I'm committed to Baltimore. I laid them, combined them with the Chiefs. Sounds good, brother. Sounds good. Good luck to you. It sounds like you got like a you just got them straight up to win. Straight up to win, okay. But to cover 4.5, to win by pretty much a touchdown at that point. User says Lions 10.5 and then over 45. I like that. You're covering key numbers there. You're covering the key numbers. Garrett says take the teaser with the Ravens in the over. With the over, okay. Like I said, I'm not gonna talk anybody off of the over because these are over teams, right? They're just electric. They're fireworks, all right. But with the side, okay. When you tease the side, guys, you got to be real careful with this. And this is coming from somebody that used to do all kinds of teasers, right? You're not supposed to tease through 0, okay? If you tease through 0, you're still hovering around just winning the game, right? So if Ravens is -4, -4.5, and you bring them down to +3, you're paying a lot of juice and you're still just hovering around just winning the game. It's more beneficial to tease a dog, for example, from 1.5 up to 7.5. Now you're going through 3, 4, 6, 7. You're going through all these other key numbers, guys. And that's coming from somebody that teasers this week. Bro, for the Discord, I sent out on the 4 p.m. games. I was like, I logged all 3 of these teams, and we're going to tease all of them. We literally teased every combination of Cardinals, Seahawks, and Broncos. So Seahawks with Broncos, Seahawks with Cardinals. It was like swing dancing, like swing your partner around and round. So we cashed all 3 of those teasers, and then we had another teaser on Miami versus Buffalo. So 4-0 on teasers, man. If you guys do the teasers right, I'm telling you, they're gonna pay off. Okay. Yep, my man Mad Dog says, if I were to be teasing, I would be teasing the Lions up to 11.5. I like that. Yeah, because you're going through way more key numbers. You're going through moving this thing from a 1-possession game to a 2-possession game at that point. Another point, guys. One more other point. I was looking at other books. I was downloading some apps, and I was just playing around with like what the odds are, right? Because a lot of people, if you guys haven't noticed, the teasers, right? The teasers have changed. They used to be -110, bro. No, y'all don't remember that. Y'all too young for that. But then they've been 120. This year, they're minimum 130, 140 even for like the juice that you have to pay for a teaser. And I was looking at one site in specific, and it was Fanatics, right? I was just playing around. I'm like, let me see if I can find a cheaper teaser somewhere, right? Shopping around, as you should. And it depended on what kind of teaser you put. If you put some random legs on there, you would get -110. You would get -120. I was like, yo, these teasers are good. But then I'm like, let me do it the right way, right? So you guys could go Google this. It's called the Wong teaser. It's when you go through those key numbers. You specifically go through those key numbers. You move a 1.5 or a 2.5 point dog. You move them up to 7.5. You move them up to 8.5. That way you're going through 3. You're going through 3, 4, 6, 7. You're going through all these key numbers, right? Or if it's a favorite, you're moving a favorite down from 7.5 down to 1.5, right? You're bringing them down from a touchdown or winning by 2 scores down to just pretty much a pick 'em at that point. If you did it that way on Fanatics, that juice was -160, -170. I kid you not. I was shopping around on these books, and I'm telling you, if you do teasers wrong, they'll let you do it, right? Go look at those college teasers. You're not supposed to tease college. That's why it's so cheap to tease college, right? It's so cheap to do it. But then if you do a Wong teaser, go Google this. It's called a Wong teaser, WONG. If you tease the way you're really supposed to be teasing, they are taxing. Fanatics was really coming out here with a -160 for a 2-leg 6-point teaser. That's crazy. My man Garrett said I had a 3-teamer last week. The Bills, the Eagles, and the Green Bay. Got lucky. Yeah, definitely got lucky there. Do you lean the Braves? Yeah, man. It's time to talk about some baseball. My man Codigo says under 54 today. Brother, you got more courage than me, but I think you're on the right side. I think you could end up being on the right side just because this number looks inflated here, and I had the same feelings about Sunday Night Football yesterday. Henry's due for a bad game today after he's due to pop off today. I agree with you. I like it. Shavan, we're about to switch to MLB real quick, guys. Looks like, okay, Shavan's ready. Nolan, what up, guys? Hit the follow button if it's your first time here. Do not miss out on these live streams. If you guys want to join the Discord, we're going for a perfect 10-0 on NFL Week 3. Perfect. And I never come out here and say something like that. We are literally 9-0 on Week 3. We're trying to go 10-0 today. Link in bio if you guys want to join up. I may mess around and give it to you guys for free on the free side. So link in bio if you guys want to join up, and then you get all my daily free plays as well. Guys, let's switch to some MLB real quick. I'm trying to retire tonight. I don't know about that, brother. I don't know about that. Guys, hit the follow button so you don't miss these streams. I'm out here. I call it like it is, man. I'm telling you like it is. Let me, real quick, before we go to MLB, guys, let me talk to you about the things I've been tracking, okay? And I just made a quick video about this right now. But one of the things that you're going to see with NFL is that things will seesaw a little bit. They'll kind of go up and down a little bit. And I just made a video about this, but public plays in Week 1 were not profitable. They were 4-7. In Week 2, if a lot of you guys felt like you had a great Week 2, if you thought it was so easy to put a combination play with all the favorites and just put all the straight up favorites to win. Public had a great Week 2. They went 9-4 in Week 2. They came back down to earth. Public plays were 4-6 against the number yesterday, 4-6. You're gonna see a lot of this seesawing, right? Usually when the public eats or when the favorites eat, then the underdog could be barking the next game. This happened with the totals as well. Pay attention to the totals. Unders in Week 1, they were smacking 12-4 to the unders. They came back down to earth. In Week 2, they were 6-10 against the number. Through yesterday, Week 3, 8-7. So they're more balanced. They're looking for a more balanced approach here. My man says, Tariq says, I got my same game play is to take Flowers 50+ receptions. Okay. St. Brown 50+ receiving yards. Okay. Henry to get a TD and Baltimore to just win the game straight up. I'm okay with that, brother. I think that sounds good to me, man. Scared of MLB? Not at all, brother. Yeah, you crushed it this week. I told your free plays on the Discord. I'm glad, brother. I have not. So I sent, I think, 2 football free plays this week. I got to send some more. But again, if you want all of my free plays, all of my football plays, $25, man. $25. I'm not scared of MLB at all. In fact, I love freebie, bro. I love MLB. Let's talk about some MLB real quick, guys. Just want to make sure everybody was good with that. We are switching over from the NFL model to the MLB model, okay? Where we have 3 games today. And let's talk about all 3 of them. Let's go right down the line here between Washington and Atlanta. We're going to start there. Then we're going to go to Milwaukee, San Diego, and we're going to go to St. Louis versus San Francisco. We'll see how we feel about these games. I'm not going to make any declarations about if I'm going to have action on MLB today. But let's talk about Washington versus Atlanta. Let's start there. Give me red. Red for the Braves, blue for the Nationals. What side are you on today? Red for the Braves, blue for the Nationals. Cast your votes. Hey, Ben. What's up, baby? Dang, you looking fine as hell. Wifey out here looking like a snack. Guys, put it in your calendars. Do not forget, September 21st is National Wifey Day, okay? National Wifey Day was yesterday on Sunday, September 21st. I had it on my calendar, so I knew. But I want to make sure you guys know and you guys are prepared next September 21st, man. Washington versus Atlanta. Mackenzie Gore against Chris Sale. Atlanta opened up as a -255 favorite. It is up to -265. So it's kind of barely moving in favor of Atlanta, kind of staying still. In terms of offense, you can see why Atlanta is favored here, man. The offense for Atlanta is red hot. They are number one over the last 7 days, number 5 over the last 14 days. They are scorching hot. They're doing a lot of things well. They're not striking out. They're hitting for a lot of power right now. They're smacking lefties like Mackenzie Gore. They're number 8 against lefties. They've won 8 games too. This is translating to some wins here, so that's good to see. So clear edge on offense for Atlanta. For the bullpen, guys, there's a clear edge here for the Atlanta bullpen as well. Washington's bullpen has given up. They're already in Mexico. They're already in Bolivia. They're on vacation already. They don't want to be here anymore. Atlanta's bullpen is still fighting. They're actually playing really good. And then in terms of starting pitching, Chris Sale is he's back to being Chris Sale. There was a little bit of a stretch there where he was like injured and maybe not playing so well, but he's back on it, man. He's given up only 5 runs in 33 innings. At home, he's given up only 6 runs in 30 innings. Really good numbers here for Chris Sale. Good numbers for Atlanta. Good numbers for the bullpen. This is one where the minus 265 is actually affordable, guys. And I can look at this and tell you guys it's justified. I think Atlanta's the right side here. Washington is just they've checked out for the season, man. National Wife Day is every day. Absolutely, my man Mad Dog is right. Wife Day is every day, but there is one of those weird holidays like National Margarita Day. Like, bro, like nobody knows what these holidays are. These TikTok holidays. My man Squid says take Nationals ML straight up. Hey, good luck with that, brother. Mackenzie Gore not pitching his best on the road. Washington ranked 30th against lefty bats as well. So as long as you know that going into it, go for it, brother. As long as you know that going into it. My man Tariq says take the Braves run line. The Nationals had their fun with the Mets. I like the Padres in the under. We can talk about the Padres. The Nationals had some success with the Mets. They're just playing spoilers. But yeah, brother, I'm right here in DC as well, man. And these Nationals, they can be sneaky. They can be sneaky, but I don't think today is one of those days. Playoff wise, none of these teams have anything to play for at this point. So just keep that in mind. I meant myself, not you. I'm scared of MLB. Oh, you are? Yeah, don't be scared. Bro, 2-3 weeks ago, MLB was super, super weird. It was goofy. But now we're getting close to the playoffs time. And, guys, there are teams that are already playing. Like, their season depends on it. Like they're in the playoffs already. The Eagles made money for Vegas with the last-minute touchdown. Bro, that was crazy. That was crazy, but I was not surprised. Yeah. Rams was, I don't know. I considered it kind of fake sharp, right? And that's not hindsight. I avoided the game. I had Eagles circled, but I'm good, man. My man said he crushed it with the free plays. Yeah, brother. Link in bio if the rest of you guys want free plays. I give you one for free every single day. Football free plays I think are 9-4 so far. 9-4. And that was a couple bad beats were in that game. Were in those games too, but it's all good, man. Bad beats are part of the game. What matters to me is closing out this week 3, this NFL week 3. I'm trying to close it out perfect. Okay, we're trying to go for 10-0 tonight. Link in bio if you guys want to join up for that. Are the Nationals barking today? The dog is not barking, not at all. My man's not saying a single word right now. No, the dog is not barking, brother. Does Atlanta minus 1.5 make sense? It does, brother. I think Atlanta's the right side here. Yeah, go for the 1.5 or team total. This thing is set at 7. 7 is such a small total here. Atlanta usually a ballpark for unders, so maybe the run line is just better. All right, guys, let's go to the next game real quick. We are talking about Milwaukee versus San Diego. Give me red for Milwaukee, red for the Brewers, blue for the Padres. What side are you on today? Red for the Brewers, blue for the Padres. Let's talk about Milwaukee with Freddie Peralta on the mound. Nick Pivetta is on the mound for the Padres. Freddie Peralta for the Brewers. Nick Pivetta for the Padres. Ooh. We heard one bark. My people think that he's picking games, babe. They think that he's picking games. Every time he's barking, he's like, the dog is barking. Let's see if the dog is barking here between Milwaukee. Actually, Actually, he might be onto something here. Milwaukee versus San Diego. Freddie Peralta against Nick Pivetta. This line did open up minus 126 for San Diego. It is down to minus 119, so the line is moving in favor of Milwaukee. In terms of offense, both of these offenses are pretty good right now. A slight edge to Milwaukee, though. Milwaukee is hitting over the last 7 days, 14 days. Their numbers are a little bit better than San Diego, so keep that in mind here. They're also generating walks. Meanwhile, San Diego, they're not walking, so they're not showing plate discipline. They are ranked 27th in walks over the last 14 days. Bullpen, you guys know the San Diego bullpen is really good, and they continue to be really good. Milwaukee's is not that far off, though. Milwaukee's is definitely not that far off. Slight edge there for the Padres. In terms of starting pitching, guys, both of these starting pitchers are pretty good as well. On the full season, they've been really good. Over the last 5 days, they're really good. Over the last 5 days on the road for Peralta, really good. Pivetta at home, pretty good over the last 5 days. Nothing to really see here. There's a little bit of a bounce back here for Peralta. He got rocked in 2 games ago. But besides that, for Peralta, he's been pretty solid. This number is elevated. This number is super high here for Nick Pivetta. Over his last 5 games, his left on base percentage is 93%. Over the last 14 days, over the last 2 games, it's 100%. That's telling me that he's putting runners on base and he's leaving them stranded, which is good. If you're watching the game and you gotta pick on the game and he's leaving runners stranded, that's good. But that is the number one sign for negative regression to come, because you're not going to keep getting away with putting runners on base and then leaving them stranded. Guys, the dog is barking here. This is Milwaukee for me. I would be on the Brewers if I were on this game between Milwaukee and the Padres. Let me see what you guys said. Drizzle, that was my take right there on the Brewers and Dodgers. He's my man Ryan on YouTube. He says, "Yo, I'll be right back." He's like, "I'm back now." It's like he's working at an office or something. Yeah, bro. Milwaukee has nothing to play for. Yes, Milwaukee has solidified their spot in the playoffs. Okay, doesn't look like they have too much to play for. They've already earned the division. Well, let me see if they actually completed it over the weekend. Well, I'll let me know. Let me know if Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's already won the division there, and the Cubs cannot catch up to them. The Padres look like they have way more to play for, and they definitely do. In fact, I do. I want to pull that up just so I can. I just had it pull it up, and we are looking at the wild card standings. First of all, San Diego is they're right in the middle of it. They have the number 2 wild card spot right now. They are 5 games up on the Reds, so they're probably not risking losing that spot. But in terms of the division, I believe they were fighting for the division. They are 3 games back on the Dodgers. It's really probably they still have a chance to catch them, but a little bit tougher territory. Guys, this is going to be one of those where just because you have to win doesn't mean you're going to win. Just because you have to win doesn't mean you're going to win. In fact, if you have to win, it's because you didn't put yourself in a good position previously in the season. You shouldn't be in this spot, right? You shouldn't be fighting for a wild card. The Padres, man, they have so much talent, and here they are. Didn't win. They're probably not going to win their division. It's still a really good season so far, 85 wins, but not the best. Not the best in their division. If anything, the Dodgers, by Dodger standards, they didn't have a good season. So Padres really kind of is Milwaukee playing everybody. I would expect the line hasn't moved anything crazy, but let me check. That was the other half of it. Let me check. Milwaukee, yes, they did secure the NL Central. They did secure the NL Central against the Cubs. Cannot catch up to them at this point. So does Milwaukee at this point have absolutely nothing to play for? They still have a 3-game lead on the for the number 1 seed. For the number 1 seed. So if they want that bye week, they still got to win at least a couple more games here in the last week of the season. Atlanta Braves, Nationals. You got Braves for ML. I just think it's the right side, and obviously I'm not going to lay the juice with the straight up. I would be looking at the 1.5. Guys, hit the follow button if it's your first time here. Do not miss out on these streams. We're out here cooking every single day, man. I'm trying to just make everybody a little bit better every single day. If you guys want to join the Discord, we are going for a 10-0 clean sweep of the whole NFL week. We went 2-0 on Thursday. We went 7-0 on Sunday. We're trying to go 1-0, maybe 2-0 tonight. Link in bio, guys, if you guys want to be a part of. We're not going to have a perfect week every time, but I'm going to put in the work every single time. I just want it to be profitable. I just want it to end. I just want to end the day positive. That's all that matters to me. If we end up popping off and going 7-0, I'm about it. In fact, I didn't really love any of those games yesterday. They were all 1U plays. We didn't go 2Us. But I'll take it. I'll take 7-0. And then link in bio, guys, if you guys want to join up. Do you like the Ravens today? We talked about the NFL game. I'm feeling the Lions right now. I'm feeling the Lions. I'm hesitating a little bit because it feels, from my perspective, from my point of view, it does feel square, right? But the public is actually on the other side. I really thought everybody would have been eating up Detroit, but even everybody in this chat has been telling me Baltimore is just going to steamroll and roll them. Yeah, man. If I hear one more person say Ravens are gonna dominate tonight, I'm gonna go lock in the Lions right now. Again, guys, I play devil's advocate a lot. I'm giving you both sides. At this point, you guys know how great the Ravens are, and I don't think I need to emphasize too much on that. But yeah, him in prime time, Lamar Jackson is him, and Coach Harbaugh as well. The question was, are the Brewers playing their squad today? And that's actually a really good question. I would wait for the lineup because they did not play anybody yesterday. Oh, my God. They did not play anybody yesterday. Jackson Churio played. Isaac Collins played. But then besides that, everybody else was out. Frelick was out of the lineup. Yelich was out. Terang was out. Bowers was out. Yeah, I would look at this lineup before game time. I normally wouldn't suggest overreacting to that. I probably still think Milwaukee is the right side. But if everybody's going to be out of the lineup, it's probably just best to stay away from it, to be honest. Lamar owns the NFC. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 24-2. 24-2 against the NFC. I don't love... Yeah, somebody said the Lions love to run up the score. I don't love that they just did that to Chicago a week ago. They just ran up the scoreboard on them. They had no business crossing 50, right? They had the game won. I don't love that. I think that's bad karma. I think that comes back to bite you. Braves 1.5. I think that's a good play, brother. I like a high-scoring game is all I know. You would think, though, everybody's thinking that this is going to be a high-scoring game. Bro, for it to cross 50, it almost has to be a perfect, like, drives have to end in a touchdown, right? What? That's crazy. I've been hearing everyone say Lions. No, we just put up a poll, and it was like 12-1 for Baltimore, and everybody in the chat is just saying Baltimore, Baltimore, Baltimore. But I'm going to keep an eye on this one, and somebody said Ravens are going to dominate tonight. Ravens spread. Okay. All right, guys, let's finish up with the last baseball game. My man said he took the under 53.5. Sounds good, brother. Like I said, you have more courage than I do probably. But I think it's a little bit of an overreaction, right, for this thing to go from 50.5 up to 53.5 just based on, what these teams did a week ago. If this is a Super Bowl preview, usually, these games mean so much that they want to wait to see who's going to make the first mistake, right? Usually they could come out a little bit conservative. It's time for the Giants. It's time for the Cardinals. Then we could go back to NFL and finish up there, guys. Let's talk the Cardinals. Let's talk the Giants. Give me red for the Cardinals, blue for the Giants. What side are you on today? Red for the Cardinals, blue for the Giants. And then after this, it's just free for all, man. We could talk about any game you guys want. Let's finish up with MLB. Red for Cardinals, blue for Giants. Follow button's up here, guys. If you guys want to tap that, if you're not already following, hit the follow button. And then if you guys want to join the Discord, link is in bio. 10-0 today, man. We're trying to go for 10-0 today. Again, this is what I do full time. This is what I dedicate myself to. I'm always deep into the numbers, man. Trying to just make the team a little bit better every single day. Red for the Cardinals, blue for the Giants. Michael McGreevy is on the mound for St. Louis. Justin Verlander is on the mound for San Francisco. Looks like this line really hasn't moved a whole lot. Actually, I do have, I believe I have line movement information now that I can give you guys. Yeah, so this thing opened up minus 150. It is still minus 150. It really hasn't moved at all in favor of anybody. In terms of offense, guys, I told you guys a while ago, the Giants, they were hot. Now they're not. They're cold. Their bats are ice cold again. St. Louis is actually hitting right now. St. Louis is definitely actually hitting right now. In terms of bullpen, both these bullpens suck. They both suck right now. Excuse me. In terms of starting pitching, guys, both of these pitchers are pitching really good. I didn't see this coming. Verlander, he's given up only 3 runs in his last 31 innings. Michael McGreevy, this guy's only given up 12 runs in 29 innings. So both of these guys are pitching very good. Unlike their full season numbers would probably indicate, especially Verlander. He's 3-10 on the season. He's pitching very good right now, lights out. And these guys are pitching just as good or even better at on the road for McGreevy and at home for Verlander. Both of these guys are pitching very, very well in their given splits. Okay, so to me, guys, that is a wash at starting pitching. Okay, if I'm looking at the expected numbers for Michael McGreevy are telling me that he's due for maybe a little bit of positive regression, so his numbers could be even better. But Verlander looks like he's due for some negative regression. And that number I just told you about with Nick Pivetta, same thing with Verlander. Watch out with him, man. He's been getting away with runners left on base, okay? And that, again, somebody told me that just means he's clutch. No, you can't get away with 100%, 95%, 90% LOB percentage left on base. Justin Verlander has a 95% left on base percentage in the last month. That's telling me he's leaving way too many runners stranded. And you can't keep getting away with it. The best pitchers, the most elite pitchers, have between a 70 and an 80% left on base percentage. Michael McGreevy's number looks pretty good, 79%. But yeah, Justin Verlander looks like he's been getting away with trouble, and I would expect that negative regression that we spoke about to bite him in the butt today. Both of these teams. Guys, this is another situation where, okay, you'd think San Francisco has more to play for. They are 3 games out of the wild card spot. St. Louis, 4 games out of the wild card spot. Maybe they're not completely dead either. I'm surprised they're MLB.com is not showing me who's been eliminated at this point, because there's definitely, they're not showing me eliminations. I know there's about a week left in the season. Who's eliminated at this point? Okay, yeah. So these teams are not eliminated yet. The Giants and the Cardinals still have a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? I'm telling you there's a chance still. The Cardinals are playing better ball right now. San Francisco is playing like they want to be in Cancun at this point, brother. I gotta say St. Louis is barking. Hey, the dog should be barking. He's not listening. He's not paying attention, but the dog should be barking right now. My man Drizzle says, "Don't sleep on the Cardinals, brother." I slept on them all season long, but in this particular case, don't sleep on the Cardinals. Their bats are a little bit better, and the price doesn't make sense. What you got? San Francisco at minus 150? Yeah, I'm not buying into it. Is Devers going the yard? Let me look at Devers for you, brother. I'm not a big prop guy, but I can at least try to guide you in the right direction. Devers, man, he's pretty cold right now. Pretty cold. He's ranked 15th overall, but in the last 7 days, he's ranked 273. And to make matters worse, the ballpark in San Francisco is usually good for unders. And the reason for that is because the wind in San Francisco just swirls. Literally, they have swirly winds. Even when the wind is telling you that the wind is going to carry the ball to center field, dead center, yeah, it doesn't. That thing literally gets stuck up in the air, it swirls, and then it just drops down. So this ballpark is not good for home runs, and maybe that's why my man Devers hasn't had the season that you would think he's having. The Giants are still playing for something. They're both still playing for something, brother. They sleep. The Cardinals love to win as dogs. There you go. Guys, hit the follow button if it's your first time here. Do not miss out on these live streams. We're cooking every single day. If you guys want to join the Discord, I give you one of my top plays for free every single day. There are some days that I've skipped, but it's because, sometimes I don't want to be talking to myself in the free play channel. You guys got to give me some good vibes, man. Drop some reactions. Just be active. And then, my intention is to drop a free play every single day. If you want all of my top plays, link is in bio. Sorry, man. I'm over here struggling with this sunlight. All right, guys. Free for all. I got 10 minutes left. What games you guys want to talk about? Let's go. KB says to take St. Louis straight up. Yeah, that's a possibility. I would go full game here because San Francisco's bullpen is really bad. At minus 150, I think you could still get the +1. Maybe consider going +1. That way you could get a push. Worst case, the +1 you could do that on any book, but sometimes you have to use a calculator. But if you don't want to use a calculator, then DraftKings DK lets you do a +1. I would consider that. Cardinals 1.5. Go for it, brother. I just wouldn't pay too much juice for that. So Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Cardinals. Yes, Milwaukee would be the one that worries me a little bit more because if they didn't play anybody yesterday, and if they and I would be concerned. I would look out for that injury report or the lineup report. Sorry, brother. I don't pay for picks, and I'm doing good on my own. I'm glad to hear, brother. I just want everybody to do well on their own. A lot of people aren't, and that's why it is advisable instead of just going deep into a hole with DK and FD. Consider for those of you guys that need help, consider paying somebody that does this full time, that dedicates themselves to this. I have a lot in investments, and I don't have time to research and look up all the numbers and the revenue numbers for Costco and Apple and Tesla. I pay a financial advisor for that, right? I got it, when you do this for income and you're doing this for a future or retirement and stuff, you don't want to make mistakes, right? It's worth paying a small percentage to somebody that knows what they're doing. So I pay a financial advisor. Even though I'm pretty good, I'm actually really good with finances myself. I just don't have the time. I dedicate myself more to sports, but that's my take on that, brother. But I appreciate your help and advice. Absolutely, brother. I'm always here to help. I don't care if you guys end up paying or not. Just trying to help people out because at the end of the day, it's not me versus you. It is literally us against them. Their buildings are nicer. Their furniture is nicer. They prey on people that have a real bad problem with this. So, man, let's just try to get better every single day. You wouldn't take St. Louis straight up, though. The +125 is good. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the right side is St. Louis. Me personally, I don't really be fiending for the plus money. I would probably myself be looking at the +1, but if you got to take the straight up, that could be a good take there, man. Usually in baseball, you don't really have too many one-run games, anyways. Do I prioritize Hampton or Benson on the waivers? I'm not a big fantasy guy, but if you tell me which Benson you're talking about, I could probably help you out, brother. Robert said, would you take Giants on the straight up? No, I don't think it's worth that price, brother. You got -150 with the Giants. It doesn't make sense, brother. Omar says, take the Padres. I was leaning Milwaukee up until the lineup looked really bad yesterday. They didn't play anybody yesterday. So I would keep an eye and see who's playing for Milwaukee today. I kind of think it's going to be 3-2 Washington game between Washington and Atlanta. So then Atlanta fails to cover the number. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Washington's only won 4 games in the last 10 at this point. They have struggled over the last 7 days on offense, over the last 14 days, over the last 30 days. They're not walking. They're striking out. Their bullpen is bad. Mackenzie Gore, he has the name to him, and he's actually pitching pretty good in his last 5 games. He's pitching really good, but it's on the road where he struggles. He's given up 13 runs over 26 innings, a 4.5 ERA. But the number that sticks out the most is Washington against lefties. They are number 30th against lefties. Yeah, but they're familiar with Sale, and Gore has good numbers against Atlanta. Gore against Atlanta, yeah, gave up 0 runs in 5 innings in his 1 game against Atlanta. But then Chris Sale on the other side, he did one better. He gave up 0 runs in 8 innings against Washington. I just think Atlanta's the right side here. If the run line doesn't make sense, then you can consider the team total, or you can consider putting Atlanta in a lay. So definitely alternative ways to play it. But yeah, I just try to give you guys the right side, and then you guys find whichever way might be best to play it. Lamar Jackson to go over his rushing yards. Yeah, he's failed to get his rushing yards over the last couple games, or first games. 2 games of the season. I would expect him to scramble a little bit more, especially on primetime. Omar said, would you take the Nationals-Braves game to go under? I'm not going to talk you off of it. Atlanta is a really good ballpark for the unders. It is the 5th best ballpark for unders, 40-31 to the under this year. And 76% of the public is on the over. So, yeah, you have 2 pitchers that are capable of going under. Siobhan, go with your gut. Chris Sale to get his 8 Ks against Washington. Washington is striking out a ton right now. They are one of the worst strikeout teams right now. Again, Washington kind of just dead in the water at this point. Siobhan, you're cool, bro. You could spam all you want. You guys could spam all you want, and that's cool with me. Absolute facts. I don't even know what I said that was so factual, but I'm out here trying to work every single day, man. Oh my god, bro. One of these scam pages. One of the scam pages. Guys, pay attention. Be careful with the scam pages. I don't have a Telegram. I'm not going to message you. Yo, do you want the secret sauce for today? Yeah, no, I don't know what the sauce is. I don't have it. And if I did have it, I'm not giving it away. I would just keep it to myself. No, somebody did DM that. Guys, be careful. I'm not going to message you if you're not a member. And if I did, it would be on Discord. I'm not messaging anybody on TikTok. It wouldn't let me join your free Discord. Press and hold the link and then open in browser. That should work for you. I've had messages to join, but was sketchy. Yeah, man. Yeah, be careful with that, guys. Be careful with the scam pages. There's a lot of pages trying to impersonate me at this point. Tampa Bay versus Orioles, brother. What day are you looking at? You're probably looking at tomorrow's slate. I'm not working on tomorrow's slate yet. But guys, I told you guys last week, I was like, yo, we got to work on some NFL, some look ahead NFL, some look ahead college football. Tomorrow we're gonna have some. We're gonna go through MLB, and then we're also gonna talk about some NFL and some college for the upcoming week. Okay, that's gonna be our schedule going forward on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We got to look ahead to college and NFL, but we're not going to leave MLB behind either. In fact, my MLB has been money. Out of nowhere, we just flipped the switch to MLB. My MLB was cold a week ago, 2 weeks ago. But again, we're getting into playoff time. People, teams are starting to play like it means something at this point. Drizzle, I hope the press and hold works for you. Let me know if it doesn't, brother. Peralta 5 Ks. Freddie Peralta to get his Ks. Let's see. He's pitching really good right now. He should stay in the game. It looks like you could get 5 or 6 innings out of him. My biggest problem is that San Diego is not striking out a whole lot. They're not striking out a whole lot, and this lineup is pretty good. The Padres lineup is kind of moving a little bit. I don't love Peralta to get his case. But if you're on it, I'm not going to talk you off of it either. Let me check Jameson Williams. That you're the second person that asked Jameson Williams real quick. Let me see here. Between... Oh, yeah. Yeah. So remember my point earlier about avoiding players that popped off the week before? Amon St. Brown is the definition of a player that popped off last week. He went for 3 touchdowns, had himself a hat trick. I would be looking for the other guys in the lineup: Jameson Williams, Khalif Raymond, the other dude. His name every time I see him, I was like, "Yo, his name is Tesla," or however you say his name, Tesla or whatever. Yeah, look for some of the other guys in the lineup because Baltimore, I guarantee you, is game planning around Amon St. Brown. I would be looking for the other guys. Nick Pavetta 6Ks. Yeah, somebody just asked me that. I'm not in love with it, but I wouldn't talk you off of it either. It did. Yeah, you're welcome, brother. Anytime, man. Brewers and Padres game, over or under? The numbers are kind of shading to the over, but I don't like taking overs in this ballpark. This is a dedicated unders ballpark. It's been like this forever. Unders this year are third best in Petco Park, 41 and 31 to the under. And you have 2 really good pitchers, and you have 2 strong bullpens. The only way I could play it is the under. Especially if Milwaukee's lineup is going to be out of the question. Why I haven't joined, I'll do it through your Discord and your link. Yes, brother. Sounds good. The link is in bio. You can sign up with the weekly pass or the monthly pass. Thank you, Carlos, for the roses. I appreciate it, man. So yeah, you guys can join up. It's $25, guys. $25 if you want access to all the plays. Again, don't keep putting yourself further into a hole. Right? If you know your DK, your FD accounts are not positive, man, consider joining up with somebody that does this full time. This is what I do. This is what I dedicate myself to. You guys see me putting in the work every single day. If you haven't seen me on live streams, every single day for the first couple of weeks of the season, it's a lot of moving pieces right now with the transfer portal in college and all these moving pieces. But now we're getting to the point where we're going to get in our groove and we're going to keep this thing going. Do not waste this season. This season is way too short. It's way too precious. Not going to promise you a 10-0 week every single week, but we have a good chance of being profitable, and that's all I care about. We do happen to be going for 10. We are going for 10-0 tonight. If you guys want to be a part of the finishing touches on week 3, link in bio. Brewers and Giants. I'm not in love with the Giants, brother. I actually think the Cardinals are barking there a little bit. The Giants are not winning games. They've only won 3 games out of the last 10. Their bats are cold. Their bullpen is cold. They still have a chance at the playoffs, but they're not playing like it. I think St. Louis is the right side there. Brewers does seem like the right side, but you got to look at the lineup. Nobody played yesterday, so I would keep an eye to see who's playing today. Do you like Williams' 50 receiving yards? Yeah, I think that one looks good, brother. Carlos, thank you again, man. I appreciate it. Carlos says Ravens spread. Let me see where this one is at now. It was at 4.5. It should still be at 4.5. These NFL lines don't move a whole lot, but this thing did move down from 5.5. Again, guys, join the Discord. There's a good chance I give you this one for free. But right now, just me and just coming on here and talking to you guys and you guys telling me how much you guys like the Ravens. I initially looked at this and I was like, yo, the Lions, that line is way too high, right? It's kind of square to take the Lions at 4.5, 5.5. But yeah, the more I'm hearing how great the Baltimore Ravens are and how unbeatable they are. Yeah, they couldn't run the ball yesterday. A week ago they couldn't run the ball at all. They got stuffed completely. It was a really good Cleveland defense, and Detroit is not Cleveland for sure on defense. But they are capable of stopping the run, and they are capable of running the ball themselves. The Baltimore Ravens also have a couple pieces on the defensive line that can cause problems and open up some holes for Detroit's run game as well. McGreevy to get his 4 Ks today. I'd like him to stay in the game. Yeah, he's good for 6 or 7 innings. He's pitching pretty well against a team that's striking out a whole lot. And then this lineup is not moving. This lineup is not moving, meaning the movement of the line kind of stalls a little bit here. If you're on McGreevy to get his Ks, I'm cool with that, brother. Adrian, no, I'm not feeling the Giants, brother. I think the Cardinals is the better side here. Do you do player props? Not a whole lot. I can at least guide you in the right direction if you tell me who you like and what side, what team. I don't do a whole lot of player props. I stick to my lane, sides and totals a little bit. Guys on YouTube, hit the subscribe button if it's your first time here. Give me a thumbs up too before you leave. Last call, guys. Last call, and then we out of here. You're welcome, brother. Anytime. I like the Ravens -3.5, -3. You're paying a lot of juice to bring this thing down from -4.5 down to -3. You're paying a lot of juice for that, brother. I wouldn't recommend doing that. We really shouldn't be buying not even a half point, right? We should be doing -110, -115. But if we start doing -140, -50, 160, you lose the edge that you have, right? We have a little bit of an edge, but when we buy up the juice like that, it really makes it so we have to hit 60%, 65% to break even. Lions are taking the dubs tonight. Thank you, my man. Finally, somebody. Oh, sorry, I sent an invite to somebody. Don't join up. Somebody said they like the Lions today. Omar says to take the Ravens 4.5. I would go if you were on the Ravens. The best way to play it would be Ravens. I would say I would buy the hook there. I would try to get -4 at a good price. I mean like -120, 125 max. You shouldn't have to pay -125. I would buy the hook with the 4.5 because 4 is a key number. I would be careful there. Hit the follow button, guys, if it's your first time here. If you guys want to join the Discord, link is in bio. Went 7-0 yesterday, man. Clean sweep yesterday, 7-0. And trust me, it really didn't feel like... I really didn't love the games, to be honest. Just wait for me to really love the games. We're going to double up. We're gonna send some 2U plays, some 3U plays. All the plays yesterday were 1U. It just so happened, yeah. I didn't love them all, but 7-0. 7-0 on the day. We had a nice little combination with teasers and straight plays, and the lays hit. We've hit 2 lays in a row. Link in bio if you guys want to join up, man. Dakota says take 7.5 with the Lions. You're going through some key numbers there. I just hope you're not laying a lot of juice to get to 7.5, or maybe if you're going to combine it with another one. Lions, because the Ravens line doesn't make sense. 4.5 is a lot of points, man. 4.5 is a lot of points against another playoff caliber, Super Bowl caliber team. Zay Flowers to get over 50 receiving yards. Yeah, he kind of came back down to earth a little bit last week. I would expect him to get open a little bit today, man. Cornball says Gore to get his 5Ks today. He's talking about Mackenzie Gore. I don't love it, man. Atlanta's not striking out. They're making a good contact with the ball. If anything, and then Mackenzie Gore is struggling on the road. I would expect Atlanta to give him some problems. I can respect the Lions. I still got to admit, it feels square. It feels square to me. But I got to put myself in the average Joe's shoes. I got to put myself in their shoes. And a lot of times, you learn a lot just based on what people are telling you, like in the chat or in person. Last time we did our in-person meetup in Las Vegas, and I was talking to some fans about the Raiders. They're like, I love the Raiders. I love them. I was like, ooh. Like you hear a lot just based on just sitting at the bar, and you kind of hear a lot from the person next to you. I'm always fading somebody. You ain't lying. What do you think about the Ravens spread? Beast, you proving my point right here, Beast. You're proving my point. Everybody seems to be loving this the Ravens spread. Let me check the updated numbers real quick. Yeah, the public is still on Baltimore. 64% of the public is on Baltimore. This thing has moved from 5.5 down to 4.5. The total just keeps ticking up, guys. This total's up to 54 now. I'm always fading somebody. Guys, hit the follow button if it's your first time here. Do not miss out on these streams. We're out here cooking every single day. Cooking every single day. If you guys want to join the Discord, I am locked in. I am focused. NFL and college football is my bread and butter, man. This, I know a lot of people say that, but it's another thing to prove it. My college football last year was 68%. 58 was NFL. My NFL season was 58% on the entire season last year. College football was 68%, man. And again, we're at week 3. We're at a good point now. We got some good data. We're gonna make it count now, man. This is when we get the rent paid. This is when we get the bills paid. If you guys want to join up, link is in bio. BTJ or McConkey. Again, I'm not a big prop person, brother, but if you let me see, I did add some fantasy stuff to my lineup. Just let me know who you're talking about, what team, and I can at least guide you in the right direction. All right, guys, that was last call. Sal says, what do you like as the spread so far? I am liking Lions. I'm leaning Lions. That's the way I'm feeling right now. If I end up on the total, that could be another thing. If I end up on a teaser, that could be another thing. That's why don't try to guess my plays. I'm just out here giving you guys information. You guys give me some information, whatever you guys know about this game, something I'm missing or something. So we're just out here just cooking. But this is the way I'm feeling right now. But yeah, we do have to get off of here and get ready. Got to update the lineup information. Got to see if that secondary is available for Detroit. They do have a couple key pieces in the secondary that are missing. Update that. Update line information. Those props, guys. Be careful with those props. Like I said, somebody like Amon St. Brown, he's somebody that completely popped off. And the numbers here are saying that Amon St. Brown is pretty popular again today. So be careful with just going off of what you just saw. Jahmyr Gibbs very popular too as well. Any safe plays for MLB? I'm not sure if I'm gonna have any MLB today, but if I did, I think the one that's making the most sense is St. Louis. Chase Brown. Let me see. Let me test my little fantasy. I made some fantasy rankings this week. I added to my model. Asking about running back Chase Brown versus Trey Benson. Why is it not working? I thought it was working. Brown. It's not working. I'm gonna have it ready for you guys next time. You guys asked me a lot of fantasy questions. I'm adding some fantasy information to my MLB to my NFL model. That way I can answer your questions a little bit better, man. I don't want to guide you guys in the wrong directions. I do stick to sides and totals for the most part, brother. What about the Padres? I'm feeling Milwaukee, but you got to look at the lineup. Nobody played yesterday. They only had one guy play out of their top 5 batters. So pay attention to Milwaukee. It's best to just stay away from that game at that point if nobody plays. But if everybody's back in the lineup, I think Milwaukee is the right side. San Fran or St. Louis? Matt, I think St. Louis is the right side there. Guys, thank you guys for joining. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Join up on the Discord if you guys want. Whenever you're ready, link is in bio. $25, man. I make sure it's worth every single penny. And that's way more affordable than I used to charge. I used to charge $200 a month, and people used to pay that. It's because I put in the work for NFL season and college football. This is when the bills are paid, man. Let's get to it. We are 9-0 on week 3 of the NFL season. We're trying to go 10-0 tonight. We're not going to go undefeated every single week. I'm just trying to go profitable every single week, man. If you guys want to join up, link is in bio. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Braves -1.5. I think you're on the right side there, brother. I think Braves is the right side. If you guys have any follow-up questions or you guys want to ask me any questions, I will get back to every single comment before game time. So go comment on one of my last videos, and I will respond before game time today. Hope you guys have a great one. Peace. YouTube, Twitter. Thanks for catching me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.